calm, confident. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is quiet power. Let me prove it to you. Have you ever noticed this? The loudest person in the room is usually the least in control. And the quiet one? Everyone keeps checking them, like, why isn't this person talking? What do they know that we don't? That right there is power. Think about it. When someone talks nonstop, they give away everything. Their plans, their emotions, their insecurities. But when someone stays quiet, you can't read them. And humans hate what they can't read. That's why silence makes people uncomfortable. Here's a simple real-life example. Imagine you're in an argument. The other person is talking fast, raising their voice, explaining, defending, attacking, and you just stay calm, quiet. Maybe you nod once. Maybe you say nothing. What happens? They get louder. They repeat themselves. They start explaining things you never asked about. And slowly, they lose control. Not because you attacked them, but because you didn't. Silence forces people to face their own noise. Now, let's be honest for a second. Silence isn't easy. Talking is easy. Explaining is easy. Defending yourself is easy. Staying quiet when you could speak, that takes discipline. That's why silence is usually found in people who are mentally strong. Quiet people aren't empty. Their minds are busy. They're observing tone, body language, timing. They're watching how people react when there's no response. And here's something funny. The moment you stop explaining yourself, people start explaining themselves to you. Ever noticed that? You don't reply to a long message immediately, and suddenly the other person sends, "Hey, question mark. Did I say something wrong? Just checking." You didn't do anything. You just stayed silent, and the silence did the work for you. Silence also protects your energy. Every unnecessary conversation costs something. Your time, your mood, your focus. Quiet people understand this early. They don't speak to impress. They don't argue to win. They don't explain to be understood by everyone. Because real power doesn't chase validation. Here's another everyday example. Two people walk into a room. One announces themselves, loud laugh, big stories, big presence. The other just walks in, calm, observing, no rush. Who do you keep noticing? Exactly. Silence creates mystery. Mystery creates attention, and attention creates influence. That's why confident people don't rush to speak. They know their words have weight, and weight doesn't need volume. Now, let's clear something up. Silence doesn't mean fear. Silence doesn't mean you have nothing to say. And silence definitely doesn't mean you're weak. Silence means you're choosing when to speak, and timing is everything. The quietest people are often the ones with the strongest boundaries. They don't react to every comment. They don't respond to every opinion. They don't explain every decision. They let people think whatever they want, and that drives insecure people crazy. Because insecure people need noise. They need reactions. They need confirmation. Silence denies them that, and that's why silence is quiet power. It doesn't shout, it doesn't threaten, it doesn't beg. It simply stands there, unbothered. So next time you feel pressure to explain yourself, to reply instantly, to prove your point, to fill the silence, pause. Remember this: the person who controls their words controls the situation. And sometimes the strongest statement you can make is saying nothing at all.